How's it going, guys? I happen to have my first ORAS Wi-Fi battle against a lovely man by the name of NBZ. This is known as our birthday battle series, and we call this a series because it's been going on for probably around 3 to 4 years. There are 8 hours out of both of our days where both of our birthdays line up, because my birthday is the 12th and his is the 13th, but because we're in different time zones, the overlap makes it so we can get together and say, hey, you know what? Do you want to have some kind of stupid-ass battle? And it's literally just a battle that took place on both of our birthdays at the same time, despite being on different days. And it's fitting that it's in different generations as well, because my end is ORAS and his is XY. So he said, don't use any of the new megas. Now, little fun fact, Latiosite and Latiosite are programmed into XY. I'm not sure why that is, but it's for that reason that my mega is Latios for this game, just to give you a heads up. And I did bring COSPLAYCHU because we can see it on my end, but because we were doing monocolor, he has mono blue, I do have mono red. Normally shinies aren't considered as a part of this. He said that was fine. He's even got some wild cards. I opted to not have wild cards and to try to just get things that were red in general. If anything, Greninja's probably the only thing that isn't really kind of part of the equation there, but it is black and red, so I mean, he's got a wild card in there. I forgot what it was. I honestly don't care. So looking at the fact that it does set up Stealth Rock on the first turn, I can assume that he's the Motor Go set, and he's just going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch off of that one. I really wanted to switch into Pikachu right there, but I didn't know whether or not he was running it exactly to a T, so I figured the best thing I could do right here was go ahead and Volt Switch out into something that could threaten out this Altaria, which is probably going to end up being my Greninja. Now, for whatever reason, I was thinking this was his Mega, and I completely spaced on the fact that he was on XY, so I didn't know what kind of Altaria this was until it outspeeds me and goes for a Draco. Now, I was pretty scared about this at first, and then I realized Altaria's special attack is really not that high. So even if he were running a modest one, a modest scarfed one, which I think can outspeed me, a timid scarfed one I think can also outspeed me. I don't know if he was modest or if he was timid. If he's modest, it's a little sad because he wasn't able to get the knockout with the stab Draco. If he was timid, then that could explain why he got so close to it, but I do still have one Life Orb hit left in me, and I figure I might as well go for the Dark Pulse, just to try to get the flinch, you know, just in case he tries to set up while I die or something like that, if he's going to go for the Rain Dance or the Dragon Dance, or the Focus Energy. Kingdra does have a lot of options in its arsenal, but we don't learn any of them because I do in fact get the flinch, and I feel like being absolutely rude. And when you send out COSPLAYCHU, I figured I'd stop talking purposely right there, because you can hear the little guitar riff it does. All of the COSPLAYCHUs have little things like that, and it's freaking amazing. Now, the one disadvantage to COSPLAYCHU is it does not get Volt Tackle. You can still put, you know, Light Ball and still make it do all the cool other things, but you have to give it Wild Charge instead, which is kind of a big sacrifice in power, but given what the boost that Light Ball gives to it, you can actually run it mixed just fine. So I choose to run Knockoff, Volt Switch, Wild Charge, and then whatever move the COSPLAYCHU gets. I was running the Icicle Crash one, which I think is the beautiful one. But I figured I'd switch it up to this one because it was mono red, so might as well. Now, the thing I did not know about his team is that he's actually running a Trick Rooming, Rain Dancing Bayonet to support his Clamperl, and I'm not sure if that's what this thing was originally designed for, but Priority Rain Dance is actually kind of cool. So he's going to go for the Trick Room right now as he goes out into his Cobalion. I figure I'm going to go ahead and go for another Will-O-Wisp. I know it's kind of an obvious play, but he's burning turns of Trick Room. A burn close combat is not going to hurt this Rotom that bad, despite the fact that it is special defensive. Volt Switch is not going to hurt me that bad, and then honestly, I quad resist Iron Head if that is the other move he has, or if he has Flash Cannon, it's really not going to hurt that thing that bad. But I actually decided to try to predict his Volt Switch on this one because he does have it and he wants to get momentum up in Trick Room. And I'm going to go ahead and get the Lightning Rod. Now, all of the COSPLAYCHUs do come with Lightning Rod, and they are all female, which is not really relevant information. But because of the +1 from Lightning Rod, I don't have any special attack EVs. So I kind of want to say that the Lightning Rod mattered there because I took him out from that range, and I'm able to pivot out. So COSPLAYCHU getting 2 kills against NBZ. One of them more of a pick-off on Kingdra, but I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, you take what you can with Pikachu these days, because it's, let me tell you, it's not the best thing to write home about. But when it does stuff, you sit there and you clap to it. You say, go Pikachu, and you know, basically clear off the table, and you make way for Prankster Porygon 2. Oh my god, I should have stayed in there, but I realized I didn't really have a lot to touch him except for Ice Beam. I don't know whether or not he had knockoff, because I know these Mega Bayonets do like to run knockoff. I've seen Taunt, I've seen Trick Room. I would assume he would have some sort of offensive move in general. He seemed kind of scared of Porygon 2, which could have implied that, you know, he didn't really have anything to touch it in the first place. So I've seen Taunt, I've seen Trick Room, I now see Rain Dance. And I honestly don't know what his fourth move is. Now, because I didn't know he had Rain Dance, I was like, I'm just going to go for the Overheat. And the Fire attack drop actually does come into play here, because it gets reduced a lot. And he got off the Prankster Rain Dance before I was able to get off my Overheat. So I thought the Lightning Rod play was pretty cool, but I had no way of predicting that this stupid thing had Volt Switch. Volt Switch, no, Rain Dance. Oh man, Bayonet with Volt Switch would be weird. But I got into Porygon 2, because I think his last move is probably going to be Destiny Bond, or it's going to be something that can't touch Porygon 2 in general, which is why I'm going to go for a Toxic, either predicting a Switch or something else. And I didn't see that the Trick Room did wear off, which is why I decided to end up going into this thing. And what do you know, he goes for the Destiny Bond right now. I think I just ended up going for a Toxic, potentially predicting that, because if he dies to after turn effects, and he makes a move before he's able to make another one, which is usually how that Destiny Bond shit works. If you die from some kind of status condition, secondary effect like Leech Seed, or weather effect like Sandstorm or Hail, it doesn't trigger the Destiny Bond, so you're good to go. But he's got, I think, a couple of turns going on with Rain Room, which is a thing that he really liked to run in early Gen 5 / mid-Gen 5. But Clamperl was a star of the show, and I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Prankster Toxic right here, because that's something pretty cool I can go with. And he's going to go for Surf. I, unfortunately for him, did bring my special defensive Porygon 2. And as you can see, Clamperl, the beast that it is with the Deep Sea Tooth and the Rain Up, only does less than half to Porygon 2. Don't sleep on Porygon 2. It will literally it will shut down your entire team. And the fact that I trace the Prankster just means that I'm able to recover before he can do any moves. I can Toxic anything quicker than normal. And the other two attacks I have on this thing are Tri-Attack and Ice Beam. They seem to work out a little bit better for my team comp at the time, because this was part of a theme team. Ordinarily I would run Bolt Beam, but I figured Tri-Attack and Ice Beam worked out okay. And for the most part, that entire weekend, it pretty much did. So not too bad. Gonna go ahead and go for a Tri-Attack right here, as he does, in fact, go for a Surf, and wouldn't you know it, it still just really doesn't do that much. I could recover stall him if I really wanted to, but I really don't feel like being that guy. I think he ends up dying to... oh no, I'm just gonna go for a Tri-Attack at this point, because I think the Trick Room or something wore off. I'm pretty sure the Trick Room wore off, but there goes Clamperl. Gen 6 is not a very good environment for this thing to be used, but bless him for trying to use it anyway. Mega Bayonet was a really interesting thing to try to make that happen, so... He's going to go out into his Bayonet one more time to try to get one priority move off before he dies. And it turns out he tried to taunt here to try to shut me down. But I'm faster is the problem. So because I got his own Prankster, I get my recover off before he gets his taunt off. Now this means that I can't Toxic and I can't recover at this point anymore. But I think he's free to Destiny Bond here as well, which I was honestly fine with. I was like, you know what? I could win the entire game with Porygon 2 right now, but I don't want to do that. I just want to get a safe switch into something else at this point. So I just cut off with an Ice Beam. That's fine. Porygon 2 games are boring. This is not how I want Birthday Battle 2K14 to proceed. So I let him take the Porygon 2. That's fine. If anything, I really wanted to use Pikachu again, which is what I think we're going to do. So I send it in one last time, and I believe what he has at this point is his Gyarados as his last one. He already revealed his Mega, so I don't have to worry about any, you know, times two effectiveness and -1 shenanigans. It's -1, but it is still ×4, so a Wild Charge is actually going to knock out the Gyarados and clean out the game, leaving Pikachu with a nice 3 kills. And in the Red versus Blue, Red does come up victorious on this one, leaving me with a pretty significant victory over NBZ, because I didn't even have to use my Breloom or my Latias, but that's how it goes sometimes. We'll have other games. It was fun. It was for a spur of the moment thing. It was like mono red, mono blue. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? We'll do that. So anyways, that was Birthday Battle 2K14. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next year's, which is due to be uploaded in around 360 days from now. Something like that. Anyways, like I said, if you guys are enjoying this, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I'll have regular battles going on in the future, since I'm actually getting through the ORAS post-game right now, trying to catch all the legendaries, find all the Mega Stones. Just figured I'd give you guys an update as for why I haven't been doing much of that. I've also been trying to get as much of it as I can recorded when I can, so that way it can be like as close to a true LP as possible. But I haven't been near my computer a lot in the past few days. I've had a lot of shit going on, a lot of shit flying around these holiday seasons, but things finally settled down a little bit, and they will be settled down for the next 2-3 weeks, where I can say, hey, you know, let's get some uploads out of the way, and I still have my LP going on the side as well. So there's that. Anyways, that's enough talking and a status update out of me finally. That's more or less current. So that should do it. I'll see you guys on the next one.